Yes, my friends, welcome back. Two stories today. We focus on Mason Mount, as reports suggest that Mount is leaning towards a move to Man United for next season. To move on, we discuss Lukaku, as Lukaku finally reveals his future for next season. And we discuss the predicted lineup for our game tomorrow evening against Man United. So right now, my friends, we've got a ton of things to break down and discuss. Hope you guys enjoy. Hit that like button. That's a great way to show if you guys are liking the video. And before we get into things, I need to make one very special announcement. Today's video is sponsored by Chelsea's official betting partner in Parimatch UK. Parimatch are currently giving their Twitter followers the opportunity to win 3 tickets to a stadium tour of Stamford Bridge on Saturday the 3rd of June. Now this incredible experience includes a 60-minute tour of the stadium, access to the club museum, and an official photograph with the UEFA Champions League. So if this sounds very exciting to you, to be in with a chance of winning is very simple. All you have to do is follow at Parimatch UK on Twitter, and once you do so, make sure you retweet and reply with hashtag ParimatchCFC on the giveaway post, and make sure you guys do this before the deadline, which is this Thursday, the 25th of May, before 1 PM. Now my friends, all the links you're about to need are going to be in the description below, so make sure you guys get your entries in soon, yeah, before time goes up. So again, thank you to Parimatch UK for sponsoring today's video. So right now my friends, let's discuss tomorrow's predicted lineup against Man United. And for this lineup, I'm going to pick the lineup I want to see. Like, we've got 2 inconsequential games left until this terrible season comes to an end. We've got nothing to lose here. United are the only ones who could lose something, because we could really disrupt their opportunities. Because we could really disrupt their ability to secure Champions League football, with Liverpool not being too far off their backs. So, you know, in the context of Man United being the favourites now for Mason Mount, and I'll discuss this straight after the predicted lineup, maybe disrupting their hopes of getting Champions League football could work out for us in the end. We'll find out. But anyway, as you guys can see on screen, this is my predicted lineup. 4-3-3, up front, Mudryk, Felix false 9 and Madueke on the right hand side. In midfield, Ruben, Enzo and Conor Gallagher, and in defence, Lewis Hall, Koulibaly, Fofana, Chalobah and Kepa in goal as well too. So starting with Kepa, I think realistically he has been our #1 keeper this season. I think Mendy got an opportunity to try and reclaim his spot back, but he didn't really take it when he made that rare appearance for us for this season. So I feel like Kepa has to remain in goal for the sake of things. In defence, now my thinking behind defence is that United are one of the most dangerous counter-attacking teams in the league. They rely upon wingers that can beat their man 1v1. I mean, how many times do they win games or get back into games due to like that individual brilliance or great finishing, or just, you know, coming back from behind when things are against them and their players making the difference. And I do kind of feel like we need to match that physicality in defence. Chalobah on the right hand side, like the guys are calling him Cafu in training, and I do feel like Chalobah is one of those reliable guys that can play in any position when you need him. So yeah, I'm relying upon this guy tomorrow. Defence, I've gone for Koulibaly, who of course made that sub appearance against Man City over Thiago Silva, and the only thing with Thiago Silva is that when he does play, it forces the team to have to come back a bit deeper. And for me, the key to success against Man United is disrupting their build-up phase. You know, when Graham Potter was our manager and we drew against them at home, you know, that was a very 50-50 game where we had one half and Man United had the other half. And for us, like, we never got back into that game until we started to press them in their half and be a bit more aggressive, and then it was a lot more even then. So that's my thinking behind why I picked this midfield, because with the physicality of Ruben, you know, the energy of Conor Gallagher and Enzo being there to just, you know, link the defence and the midfield in the attack, I think that's the most balanced one at this point in time. And to end things up front, no Raheem Sterling this week. You know, not been a great week for Sterling. Just been announced that he won't be part of the national team qualifiers for Euro 24, which is, oof, for someone like Raheem Sterling, he's not going to be very happy at all. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to kick him out my team too. And for me, I think Mudryk needs to get a bit more game time. Now, I'm not one of those people that feel like he should be getting like patronising minutes for the sake of it. Absolutely not. Like, you're coming to the Premier League, you're playing for us right now. The levels between us and Shakhtar are 2 completely different stratospheres. Like, you can't compare them. So, like, he has to learn and educate himself from what is expected of him to be a success at this football club. For me, now that we have nothing really to play for, and results don't really mean a thing, I do think that in a non-pressurized environment, allowing Mudryk, of course, to do his talking on the fields and not on social media, where I don't know why this guy felt. Well, I don't know why this guy decided to record that old man trying to do his workout. Of course, Joey Spo absolutely roasting this guy today. I was not expecting to read none of this morning when I opened up Twitter today. But, these footballers, man, what can I actually say? Like, they live a completely different lifestyle. But anyway, him on the left-hand side. And, of course, Felix, false nine. There's a bit more to Felix that I need to see. Like, he's still a bit of a mystery to me right now. There's a few, unresolved answers. But I would take him on another loan spell to really see what he does under Pochettino. And, of course, Noni has to play down that right-hand side. So there you guys have it. That's my predicted lineup for the game tomorrow. Share your thoughts and opinions and let me know below if you agree, or what's your predicted lineup you want to see in tomorrow's game. So right now, let's discuss one of the breaking reports today. It involves Mason Mount, and currently it seems like Mount is preferring a move to Man United over other interested parties like Liverpool, Arsenal and Bayern Munich. Reports in this country keep stating that this is most likely set to be Mason Mount's final season as our player. And to be honest, since reports came out, I think this same day last month that, him and Todd Bowley had direct talks, they were reported to be a bit promising, but we haven't heard anything since. Now, I'm still crossing my fingers that, once Pochettino was finally announced and is taking over the club as our new manager, then we'll recontinue talks with Mason Mount. As you'd imagine that Pochettino's influence could be a major thing in, helping this deal go through in the end. But again, the reports here keep reiterating and re-emphasizing the fact that it seems like Mount and Chelsea's valuations for his contract are just too wide apart right now, and Mount is probably set to leave us at the end of the season. Now, the Daily Mail reported that Man United are prepared to make a 55 million bid to sign Mason Mount, and that's on Ten Hag's orders. And now, literally 10 minutes ago, The Athletic have announced that Mount's preference currently is to sign for Man United, and they're reconfirming the fact that Mount will probably leave at the end of the season. Now, the club's valuation for Mason Mount is around 85 million. And that's 30 million short of Man United's opening bids. But with all the interested parties still trying to sign him, you'd imagine that with a bidding war, well, Mason Mount's value is going to rise and rise and rise. And I won't be surprised if we do get closer to that 85 million valuation. But yeah, it feels a bit surreal even discussing this news in this story. I really felt like we would be able to find a workaround to keep Mount at this football club. But I'll give my thoughts and opinions as I discuss the news first. Going back to Man United, 55 million is their opening bids, but they're more than happy to invest more in signing Mason Mount. And that's because Ten Hag has been a massive fan of Mount ever since his debut loan spell at Vitesse Arnhem, where straight after that season, Ten Hag wanted to find a loan agreement to bring Mount to Ajax. And with how Ten Hag likes to play this fluid possession style football, that interchange with his attack, he likes to have players that are comfortable playing in a multitude of different roles, a multitude of different positions, and who are very good with their off-ball movement and very good on the board as well too. And for me, Mount is that super upgrade over someone like a Van der Beek, and we saw that type of success that Van der Beek was having at Ajax under Ten Hag those seasons. And when I see that Man United midfield potentially next season, looking at Casemiro as a DM, Bruno down that right hand side, Mount down the left-hand side being that supportive midfield player that's receiving passes from his left back, from, Lisandro Martinez, from Casemiro, that allows you to, stretch the game due to his long-range passes, his ability to, play between the lines, how he can speed the game up on the ball and off the ball with his runs too. This is a very good midfield player. And I kind of feel the only unfortunate thing is that we haven't seen Mason Mount at his full 10 out of 10 best, really, because he has played in so many different roles and positions. He's played games as a false nine, a lot of games on the right hand side, the left hand side as an attacking mids, sometimes in midfield as well too. And at 24 years old, I'd like to feel like he had a bit more consistency behind his position and his game. But regardless, it shows you just how much of a team player Mount is and how complete his overall game is, that he can play so many different tactical roles and positions to a very high level. So it doesn't surprise me that Arsenal, Liverpool, Man United, teams that need that type of box-to-box mid, because it does feel like box-to-box mids are making that resurgence now tactically in the league. signing Mason Mount before he's even reaching his prime for any type of money right now is incredible business. And I just really hope we know what we're about to do here, because I don't know. I get the business sense that if Mount isn't going to find an agreement, then we can't allow him to leave on a free. Like, we're not Arsenal. Cashing on him right now and reinvest those funds back into the team. But I can't get over how uncomfortable I feel about strengthening direct rivals around us. I mean, I don't think it's a guarantee that we're set to earn Champions League football next season just because we spent the most money. I think Liverpool, Arsenal, United, Newcastle, it's got even harder now for next season. And the fact that we're going to improve like a very dire need for like rivals around us, that needs being a midfield player of Mount's capabilities. I'm not too sure about this, to be fair with you. And I don't know. I just really hope that when it comes to the squad management and our ways of playing right now, that we really have a plan and an idea. Because I really felt like Mount is that team guy that can kind of play in any type of team, that can complement what you're trying to do. But currently, this is a team next season that is going to have Nkunku, that will probably still have Kai Havertz, where Joao Felix most likely could remain here on loan for another season. And then if you were to have Mount on top, that's 4 guys for those types of like in between the line roles. And that's too much. Like, no matter how good these guys are individually, all of them can't coexist at the same time. So is Mount being seen as that type of sacrifice for the club's own vision? Who knows? But we have been signing a lot more like, I don't know, skillful-esque type of players. I wonder what they're hoping to do with all of them. Time is going to tell, but right now that is the latest news behind Mason Mount, and I'd imagine that I'll be discussing this story even more as the weeks go on now. So share your thoughts and opinions, and right now let's end things by hearing what Lukaku had to say around his future for next season. Now finally, it does seem like we've got some clear ideas behind where Lukaku's head is at for next season now. And it does seem like Lukaku is adamant that he wants to remain at Inter Milan for next season, irrespective of what anything Pochettino has to say towards him. And here's what Lukaku had to say in a recent interview. He said, "I was good at Chelsea last season, but I knew then that if it didn't work out at Chelsea, I still had Inter Milan. When I signed again, I knew I belong here. I had that too at Anderlecht. I take this club seriously. I want to do my best. The people here see that. Being encouraged here is the best thing there is." And from a professional point of view, I can definitely understand what Lukaku's thinking. He went on to state in that same interview that he has big ambitions, of course, to represent Belgium in next summer's Euro 2024. And after how poor his recent World Cup campaign was, and that was based on things like him not being anywhere near close, like optimum match fitness, Lukaku probably wants to come back and kind of, make up for that terrible tournament. And it makes more sense to stay in an environment that gets the best out of your game, that gets the best out of your health, your love for the game, etc., etc. So I can understand why at his big age, at 31 years old now, he's in his prime and he wants to do what's best for his career. It's not too bad for us, but my thing with this deal is, because I was kind of expecting Lukaku to also remain at Inter Milan, what type of business can we do with Inter? Because we have interest in Martinez and Onana. Inter Milan have interest in our guys. Are you telling me that they can't afford to sign Lukaku out right now? They're currently in 2 cup finals. They're playing in the Coppa Italia later tonight. And then they have the Champions League final against Man City. And Inter Milan are good enough where they could win both cups. And then what do Inter Milan say then with this massive influx of money after winning all these competitions? So I do kind of feel like once the season really comes to an end, once we see where Inter Milan finish, then we'll have a better indication behind what's going to happen with Lukaku. Because for me, we all know he's most likely going to return to Inter, but how is the business going to look like? Are we going to do player exchange deals? Will it be another loan? And most importantly, who is going to be the replacement for Lukaku? Of course, the quotes that De Laurentiis is giving for Osimhen right now are it's too much. It's way too much. Personally, I think Osimhen's worth maybe 90 million, 100 tops. And for me, that even comes with add-ons. Our players like Vinicius Jr., Mbappe, Haaland, maybe only these 3 are worth over 100 million. For the rest of these guys, no one's on that level right now. But regardless, my friends, that is the latest news for today. Share your thoughts and opinions. And if you guys have watched at the end, share your thoughts and opinions on Mason Mount. Do you feel like this is the right type of business we're doing? Are we making a mistake here? Is there anything we can do about this? Should we accept it? Like, what are you thinking about this news? Let us all know below. And on that note, I'm Nini FC. This is Blue Lions TV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos. Cool.